Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. आप सब भक्तों का हार्दिक स्वागत है आपकी चैतन्य क्लास में। हमारा तरफ से स्वागत है कि आज हमारे बीच में उपस्थित हैं परम पूजनीय भक्ति विनाशक नरसिंह महाराज। महाराज ने बहुत कृपा की हम पे। महाराज ने हमें 6 साल इनका साथ देंगे। काफी धर्म को आएंगे, साथ-साथ में भागवत का आशीष देंगे। महाराज ने श्री प्रभुपाद जी का आंदोलन 1971 में ज्वाइन किया और तब से महाराज पिछले 25 से अधिक वर्षों से एशिया के कंट्रीज में मलेशिया, इंडिया, फिलीपींस, ताइवान, सिंगापुर, हांगकांग, थाईलैंड और चाइना जैसे देशों में प्रचार कर रहे हैं। और जहाँ जाके महाराज जाते हैं अपनी सरलता से, अपने सुंदर प्रवचनों से सभी भक्तों को प्रेरणा प्रदान कर रहे हैं। आपसे जो बात माया को एकाउंट में गए होंगे निश्चित रूप से महाराज का वैसे मिलता है। महाराज माया को में बहुत ही सरलता के साथ हर जगह पे महाप्रभु की लीला करी हुई सुंदर कथा करते हैं। महाराज बहुत सुंदर साधना करते हैं, वैष्णव आचरण और हमारा परम सौभाग्य है कि हमारे बीच में हमारे उपस्थित हैं। आप सबसे निवेदन है कृपया करके अपने मोबाइल फोन्स को साइलेंट या स्विच ऑफ मोड पे कर दीजिए और बहुत ही ध्यानपूर्वक महाराज की संगीत का पुराना बताइए। हरे कृष्ण।
Okay, we're reading from Sri Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter number 9, entitled Lord Chaitanya's Travels to the Holy Places. We'll be reading from verse 290 up to verse 300, which is on the board. Ebali Prabhu ke utana kaila alingana gala gali kari duhe karana krandana. After saying this, Sri Rangapuri lifted Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu up and embraced him. As they embraced shoulder to shoulder, they both began to cry in ecstasy.
ये कहकर श्री रंगपुरी ने श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु को उठाया और उनका आलिंगन किया। आलिंगन करते समय दोनों आवेश रुदन करने लगे।
Saneke avesachati duhara taira haila Ishvara purira sambandha gosani janaila. After some moments, they came to their senses and became patient. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu then informed Sri Rangapuri about his relationship with Ishvara Puri.
कुछ क्षणों के बाद उन्हें होश आया तो वे शांत हुए। तब श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने श्री रंगपुरी से ईश्वर पुरी के साथ अपने संबंध के विषय में बताया।
Adbhuta premera vanya duhara uthalila Dunhe manya kari dunhe anande vasila. They were both inundated by the wonderful ecstasy of love that was aroused in them. Finally, they sat down and respectfully began to converse.
वे दोनों अपने भीतर उठने वाले अद्भुत प्रेम भाव से आप्लावित हो गए। अंत में दोनों बैठ गए और आदरपूर्वक बात करने लगे।
Dui jani Krishna kata kahira tridine e mate gonaila pancha satadine. In this way, they discuss topics about Lord Krishna continually for 5 to 7 days.
इस तरह वे दोनों लगातार 5-7 दिनों तक कृष्ण विषय कथाओं की चर्चा करते रहे।
Kotuke puri tanre puchile janmastana Gosani kotuke kapena navadvipe nama. Out of curiosity, Sri Rangapuri asked Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu about his birthplace, and the Lord informed him that it was Navadvip Dham,
श्रीरामपुरी ने उत्सुकतावश चैतन्य महाप्रभु से उनके जन्म स्थान के विषय में पूछा तो महाप्रभु ने बताया कि वे नवद्वीप धाम उनका जन्म स्थान है।
Sri Madhavapuri Rasange Sri Rangapuri Purve Asiyachila Tenho Nadia Nagari. Sri Rangapuri had formerly gone to Navadvip with Sri Madhavendra Puri, and he therefore remembered the incidents that had taken place there.
पहले श्री रंगपुरी श्री माधवेंद्र पुरी के साथ नवद्वीप जा चुके थे, अतः उन्हें वहां हुई घटनाएं याद आ गई।
Jagannatha Mishra Gare Piksha Ye Karila Upurva Mochara Ganta Thana Ye Kaila. As soon as Sri Rangapuri recalled Navadvip, he also recalled accompanying Sri Madhavendra Puri to the house of Jagannath Mishra, where Sri Rangapuri had taken lunch. He even remembered the taste of an unprecedented curry made of banana flowers.
नवद्वीप का नाम सुनते ही श्री रंगपुरी को स्मरण हुआ कि वे माधवेंद्र पुरी के साथ जगन्नाथ कृष्ण के घर गए थे, जहां उन्होंने दोपहर का भोजन किया था। यहाँ तक कि उन्हें केले के फूलों की बनी सब्जी का अद्भुत स्वाद भी याद आ गया।
Jagannatha Tera Pramani Tena Mahapativrata Vatsalye Hayena Tena Yena Jagannmata. Sri Rangapuri also remembered the wife of Jagannath Mishra. She was very devoted and chaste, and for her affection, she was exactly like the mother of the universe.
श्री रंगपुरी को जगन्नाथ कृष्ण की पत्नी भी याद आई। वे अत्यंत समर्पित तथा पतिव्रता थी। वात्सल्य में तो वे जगत माता तुल्य थी।
Randane Nipunatan Samanahi Tribhuvane Putra Samasneha Karina Sanyasi Bojane. He also remembered how Sri Jagannath Mishra's wife Sachimata was expert in cooking. He recalled that she was very affectionate towards the sannyasis and fed them exactly like her own sons.
उन्हें ये भी स्मरण हुआ कि श्री जगन्नाथ कृष्ण की पत्नी शची माता भोजन बनाने में कैसे निपुण थी। उन्हें स्मरण हुआ कि वह सन्यासियों के प्रति अत्यधिक स्नेह रखती थी और उन्हें अपने पुत्रों के समान भोजन कराती थी।
Tanra Eka Yogya Putra Kariya Chi Sannyasa Shankaranya Nama Tanra Aupavaya Vayasa. Sri Rangapuri also remembered that one of her deserving sons had accepted the renounced order of life at a young age. His name was Shankaranya.
श्री रंगपुरी ये भी जानते थे कि उनके एक योग्य पुत्र ने कम वय में संन्यास ले लिया था। उनका नाम शंकरान्य था।
So now we're going to read the verse on the board, number 300 rather. Etirthe Shankaranyera Siddha Prapti Haila Prastave Sri Rangapuri Eteka Kahila Etirthe Shankaranyera Siddhi Prapti Haila Prastave Sri Rangapuri Eteka Kahila Eterte Shankaranyera Siddhi Prapti Haila Prastave Sri Rangapuri Eteka Kahila. Okay, anybody else want to chant? Vaishnavi. In this holy place, Shankara Ranyera of Shankara Ranya, Siddhi Prapti, attainment of perfection, Haila became fulfilled, Prastave, in the course of conversation, Sri Rangapuri, Sri Rangapuri, Etekeha, thus, Kahila spoke. Translation: Sri Rangapuri informed Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu that the sannyasi named Shankararanya had attained perfection in that holy place, Pandharpur. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's elder brother was named Vishwarup. He left home before Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and accepted the sannyas order under the name of Shankararanya Swami. He travelled all over the country and finally went to Pandharpur, where he passed away after attaining perfection. In other words, he entered the spiritual world after giving up his mortal body at Pandharpur. Sri Rangapuri, a disciple of Sri Madhavendra Puri and godbrother of Ishwara Puri, disclosed this important news to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु के बड़े भाई का नाम विश्वरूप था। उन्होंने श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु के पूर्व भी घर छोड़कर संन्यास ग्रहण कर लिया था और उनका नाम शंकराचार्य स्वामी था। वे सारे देश में भ्रमण करके अंत में पांढरपुर गए, जहाँ सिद्धि प्राप्त करने के बाद संसार से चल बसे। दूसरे शब्दों में उन्होंने अपना भौतिक शरीर पांढरपुर में त्यागा और दिव्य लोक से आ गए। श्री माधवेंद्र पुरी के शिष्य श्रीला पुरी ने जो ईश्वर पुरी के गुरु भाई थे, एक महत्वपूर्ण समाचार श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु को बताया।
Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksuranmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Ragnathan Vitam Tam Sajevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Nitamscha Hare Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Koran Ke Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're hearing how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is traveling to the holy places, and he came to Pandharpur. And he was in a Brahmin's house taking his meals when he heard that Sri Rangapuri was also in the same place. So Sri Rangapuri is a disciple of Srila Madhavendra Puri. And Srila Madhavendra Puri is very, very wonderful, very exalted personality who brought the seed of love of God into the Sampradaya. So when Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu heard that a senior Vaishnava sannyasi is there in the same place, then he was very eager to go and meet him. Now, the Vaishnava etiquette is that the godbrother of the spiritual master is also considered like the spiritual master, or he's given the same respect as we would give to the spiritual master. So Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the disciple of Ishwara Puri. And he knew that Sri Rangapuri is the godbrother of Ishwara Puri. So he considers him also to be almost like his spiritual master. He is eager to come and offer respects to him. I remember sometimes some of Prabhupada's godbrothers would come and visit some places where I was. So I would always take advantage to go and see them and offer respects to them and have some association with them. It's a very wonderful experience. So here, Ishwara Puri, Sri Rangapuri is describing, well, first he met with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they both felt ecstasy together. And this was an indication of their connection with Madhavendra Puri. Just like when Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu came to Mathura, when he first came to Mathura and he was dancing in front of the deity. What's the deity, first deity he went to in Mathura? Huh? Lord Keshav, was it? Huh? Keshav. Anyway, okay, the first temple in Mathura which he went to, he danced in ecstasy, and when he was on his own, Mahaprabhu was chanting and dancing in ecstasy, and another Brahmin suddenly appeared and began to dance with him. just like sometimes you go on Harinam Sankirtan, you know, people usually just look at you, you know. They don't usually join in, but some rare soul sometimes joins in, you know, some people. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in this temple, he was dancing, and there's a Brahmana suddenly appeared and began to dance with him and experienced, just as Mahaprabhu was dancing in ecstasy, the Brahmana also danced in ecstasy.
तो हम जैसे देखते हैं जब हरिनाम संकीर्तन निकालते हैं तो लोग देखते ज़्यादा और भाग कम लेते हैं। कोई सौभाग्यशाली जीव भी हरिनाम संकीर्तन में भाग लेते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पर जब चैतन्य महाप्रभु संकीर्तन कर रहे थे तो ये ब्राह्मण भी उतने ही भावावेश में आते उसको जुड़ने लगे।
So after they finished the kirtan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the Brahmana aside and inquired from him about his identity, because it was such an unusual thing that someone could have so much taste for kirtan and the holy name.
जब चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने ये देखा तो वो ब्राह्मण को कोने में ले जाकर उनके बारे में पूछने लगे, क्योंकि ये बहुत दुर्लभ दृश्य था कि कोई कीर्तन में हरिनाम की रुचि रखकर इसमें नृत्य करे।
So when Mahaprabhu inquired from this Brahmana, the Brahman said, yeah, I'm a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. That one time Srila Madhavendra Puri came here in Mathura and I took him to my home and I fed him and I also surrendered to him and took initiation from him.
तो उन ब्राह्मण ने बताया कि माधवेंद्र पुरी के शिष्य थे और उन्होंने बताया कि कैसे माधवेंद्र पुरी जब मथुरा में आए थे तो उन्होंने उनको अपने घर में आमंत्रित किया था, उनकी सेवा की थी और उनसे उनके शिष्य बन गए।
And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately offered obeisances to the Brahmana. And the Brahmana felt very uncomfortable. He said, look, no, he said, I'm a grihastha, you're a sannyasi, I offer my respects to you, you shouldn't bow down to me. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you are the godbrother of my spiritual master. So because they had connection with, because the Brahmana had connection with Madhavendra Puri, and because Sri Rangapuri had also connection to Madhavendra Puri, he was a direct disciple also of Madhavendra Puri. So when they chanted the holy name and when they associated with devotees, they could experience ecstasy. So Srila Rangapuri was describing, well, he inquired from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you know, where are you from? Where's your birthplace? And when he was told Navadvip, then Rangapuri remembers how he had gone there and how he had gone to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father's home and taken food there.
So Sri Rangapuri ने चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने पूछा कि आपका जन्म स्थान कहाँ है, आप कौन से किस जगह से आप निवास करते हैं, और उनको पता चला कि वो नवद्वीप से हैं, तो उनको स्मरण आया कि कैसे उनके घर जगन्नाथ मिश्र के घर गए थे और वहाँ पर उन्होंने प्रसाद दिया।
And he remembers also, described here, the wonderful curry made there, how he tasted this wonderful curry with the banana flowers, and how he remembered also Jagannath Mishra's home and the chaste wife of Jagannath Mishra, Sachimata, how she served the sannyasis. So this is Vaishnava culture. You see, Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, of course, they're very great souls, and in their behavior will be very perfect, and display the perfect Vedic culture, serving the sannyasis, bringing sannyasis to their home and feeding them, honoring them, just like they would take care of their own son. In Kali Yuga, sometime nowadays you go to people's, they think, why have you come here? Why are you disturbing me? What do you want? You like, you know, but in the Vedic culture it's very different.
अगर हम इस समय किसी को सन्यासी किसी घर चले जाएं तो कहेंगे आप क्यों यहाँ पर आए हैं, क्यों हमें परेशान कर रहे हैं, लेकिन वैदिक संस्कृति ऐसी नहीं थी.
So Sri Rangapuri then describes how they had a son, Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata had a son, their elder son, who took sannyas when he was still a young man.
और श्री रंगपुरी ने स्मरण किया कि कैसे जगन्नाथ मिश्र सचिमाता का एक पुत्र था जिन्होंने बहुत ही छोटी आयु में संन्यास ले लिया था.
Well, why would a young man take sannyas? When you have such a nice mother and father, you know, they're great devotees, why would you leave home and take sannyas?
क्योंकि नानी वाली बात ये थी कि कम उम्र में हम सब कोई व्यक्ति संन्यास क्यों लेगा, क्योंकि उनके पास अच्छे माता पिता थे, घर में सभी सुविधाएं थी, तो संन्यास लेने का कोई कारण नहीं था.
So, Vishwarup, the elder son, the elder brother of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was named Vishwarup, and he regularly would go to the home of Sri Advaita Acharya and sit and listen to Advaita Acharya discuss on the Shastra.
उसके पीछे मुख्य कारण ये था कि जो विश्वरूप के बेटे थे वो अक्सर अद्वैत आचार्य के घर में जाते थे और उनसे शास्त्रों का ज्ञान प्राप्त किया करते थे.
And at a certain point, as Vishwarup was growing up, he came to youth, his parents were thinking, we have to get our son married. But when Vishwarup understood his parents were planning to arrange his marriage, then he left home, decided he wanted to take sannyas.
और जैसे ही विश्वरूप बड़े हुए तो उन्होंने सुना उनके माता पिता की विवाह के बारे में चर्चा कर रहे थे, बात कर रहे थे, तो उन्होंने सोचा कि नहीं, मुझे संन्यास लेना चाहिए.
Some often young men feel like that. They feel restless. They feel that, well, why to get married? Why to accept so many troubles in life? But also sannyas also can mean a lot of troubles. That it is not a very easy thing these days to be a sannyasi.
तो उन्होंने सोचा कि जो है मैं विवाहित जीवन में क्यों जाऊँ, विवाहित जीवन में काफी कष्ट है, काफी परेशानियाँ हैं, तो संन्यास लेना ज़्यादा उत्कृष्ट है. लेकिन सन्यासी बनना भी कोई आसान बात नहीं है, उसमें भी काफी कठिनाइयाँ उठानी पड़ती हैं.
Generally, it's not recommended for young men, because a young man, while he's young, he may feel, you know, I'm happy, I don't want to get married, I'm very fine, I like this life. But when you come to middle age, you may feel more trouble, you may feel more restless. And we have seen in ISKCON how many young men who had been sannyasis, they had difficulty and ended up leaving the sannyas ashram.
जब शरीर छोटा होता है तब तो जो है कोई साफ संन्यास ले सकता है, लेकिन जैसे उम्र थोड़ी बढ़ती है तो कोई विचलित हो सकता है और उसकी परेशानियाँ आ सकती है. और ISKCON के इतिहास में भी देखते हैं कि कई लोगों ने कि बहुत कम उम्र में संन्यास ले लिया, लेकिन आगे जाकर उनको कठिनाई सहनी पड़ी और उन्होंने संन्यास आश्रम को भी छोड़ दिया.
One of our sannyasis, Yadunandan Swami, His Holiness Yadunandan Swami, has compiled a book studying the situation of sannyasis, and he interviewed many sannyasis, and they read that book and see on the information, so many young men who became sannyasis and who didn't make it. They gave up the sannyas order after some time.
ISKCON में एक सन्यासी हैं परम पूज्य यदुनंदन स्वामी महाराज, उन्होंने एक किताब का संस्मरण किया है जिसमें उन्होंने अलग-अलग लोगों का इंटरव्यू लिखा है उसमें कि उनका सन्यासी जीवन कैसा है, और उन्होंने उन लोगों का भी इंटरव्यू है जिन्होंने सन्यास आश्रम लिया लेकिन उसको निभा नहीं पाए.
And when they leave the sannyas ashram, then this creates some disturbance in the society, that it's very confusing and disappointing for the devotees.
और जब ऐसे कुछ लोगों ने सन्यास आश्रम को छोड़ा तो निश्चित रूप से काफी उत्पाद भी पैदा हुआ समाज में, हमारी संस्था में और उनके निजी जीवन.
Srila Prabhupada was also concerned. He said, these people, these young men, they don't understand, they have not understood what it means to accept sannyas. If they give up the sannyas and go back again to material life, it means they have not properly understood the vow of sannyas.
Srila Prabhupada बहुत चिंतित रहते थे और वो कहते थे कि ये जो नवयुवक हैं जिन्होंने संन्यास आश्रम को स्वीकार किया है लेकिन उसको छोड़ देते हैं, इसका मतलब ये दिखाई देता है, ये प्रतीत होता है कि उन्होंने संन्यासी धर्म को सही तरीके से नहीं समझा।
So nowadays in ISKCON, but they don't allow young men to take sannyas. You should be at least 40 years of age and older.
ISKCON में इसलिए एक नया कानून बना है कि कम उम्र में संन्यास नहीं दिया जाता। कम से कम एक व्यक्ति को 40 साल या उससे ऊंची या उससे बड़ी उम्र में होना चाहिए।
That way you have time to mature and to get more experience, to become a better preacher and to become more established in Krishna consciousness. But prematurely to accept the renounced order of life is not recommended. So here you see Vishwarup, the older brother of Lord Chaitanya. As a young man, he left home and he took sannyas. And of course, Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra, they were very worried that maybe our other son will do the same thing. And at one point, they even stopped Nimai Pandit. They even stopped the Lord Chaitanya from having education, because he thought if he gets too much education, he will also renounce the world. So one day Sachimata happened to see Nimai sitting in the garbage with all the clay pots, and his mother was shocked. What are you doing sitting in that contaminated place? But her son said to her, well, you don't allow me to get education, so how do I know what's contaminated and what's not contaminated?
तो एक दिन कुछ ऐसी घटना होती है कि जो निमाई थे वो एक गंदे स्थान में, ऊंची स्थान में जहाँ लोग टूटे पड़ते थे वहाँ पर बैठे थे। तो शची माता ने देखा, तो उन्हें कहा निमाई तुम वहाँ पर क्यों बैठे हो? ये स्थान ऊंची है, गंदा है। तो निमाई ने कहा कि आप मुझे शिक्षा तो दिला नहीं रहे हैं, तो मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा क्या अच्छा है क्या बुरा है, क्या शुचि है क्या ऊंची।
So hearing these words from Nimai Pandit, and then also all the other neighbors were also complaining that you're not sending your son to school, you're not giving him education, it's not good. So then Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata relented, and they agreed that their son could go again and continue education. So of course, later on, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first of all, was married. First wife died. His mother persuades him to marry again, but still he takes sannyas. So Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was after taking sannyas, he went out from Jagannath Puri saying, I want to search out my older brother. Because Mahaprabhu knew his older brother had left home and gone away and taken sannyas, and he thought, I will go and find him. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is omniscient, But this was his excuse. This was how he was explaining to the people in Jagannath Puri. Because they were saying, don't go, just stay here. But he said, I have to go and search out my brother. So now Sri Rangapuri has revealed to him that his brother certainly took sannyas, and he has also achieved perfection and departed from the world in that very place, Pandharpur. So the older brother of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vishwarup, he is actually Vishnu Tattva. He is not different from Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Sankarshan, one of the Chaturvyuha. And it is said that after he departed from the world, he entered into the body of Lord Nityananda. So, the elder brother of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he is a very exalted, not an ordinary soul. He's Vishnu Tattva is come to take part in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, just like Balaram comes before Krishna. So the elder brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also comes. Now, after the elder brother of Lord Chaitanya, after Vishwarup left home, Mother Sachi was very upset. You know, her son has run away from home, gone away to take sannyas. Mother felt very bad, and she thought, how could my son do this? And within her mind, she considered it must be due to that association that he was always going to Advaita Acharya's home. It must have been his fault. So it happened on one occasion, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was giving mercy to all the devotees, and he was telling them they will all get love of God. But he said everyone will get except Mother Sachi. And when all the devotees heard this, they thought, what? Your own mother? You're not going to give her love of God? You're giving to everyone else. You're not going to give your own mother? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I cannot give my mother because she's an aparadhi. She is an offender of the devotees. Aparad is very serious thing. Someone may be a vishayi, he may be a sense enjoyer, but it's not as bad as being an aparadhi. Just like Ajamila, he was a vishayi. You know, he was a drunkard, he would steal, he gave up his wife and took a prostitute for a wife, and he was having children even in his old age. They were still having children. So he was a vishayi, but somehow he got perfection because he never did any offense. Even when he was calling his son Narayan, it was namabas, it was not namaparad.
तो विषय होना ज़्यादा अच्छा अपराधी होने से, जैसे अजाम में कोई विषय व्यक्ति था, चोरी करता था, डकैती करता था, शराब पीता था, वैश्यवन करता था, लेकिन क्योंकि उसके बेटे का नाम नारायण था, तो जैसे जैसे नारायण बोलता था, तो नाव भास के सर पे होने के कारण उसके सारे पाप क्षीण हो रहे थे.
But Daksha, he was an aparadi. He committed offenses against Lord Shiva. So bad. Even we see Subari Muni, because of his offense against Garuda, he also suffered greatly. So it said aparad is it's a mad elephant offense. It destroys all the creeper of devotion. We have to be very careful not to commit offense. So all the devotees were puzzled that how is Mother Sachi an aparadi? How could Mother Sachi? She never does any offense. She's such a nice devotee. We're hearing Rangapuri describe how she would serve the sannyasis just like her own son. But Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu had detected within Mother Sachi that there was some thinking, some bad feeling towards Advaita Acharya, that he was responsible for influencing her son Vishwarup. And because of his association, Vishwarup had gone and taken sannyas. So when the devotees heard about this, and they thought, well, we'll bring Advaita Acharya and let her touch his feet, let her get forgiven for her offenses. So they got Advaita Acharya and he said, come on, you have to come. Mother Sachi has to beg you to get forgiveness for her offenses. Advaita Acharya said, who? Me? No, Mother Sachi, she's the Divine Mother. She's the Mother of the Lord. How she could ever commit any offense against me? I cannot give any blessings to Mother Sachi. But they were bringing Advaita Acharya, they were dragging him, and he's, no, I don't want. He became so ecstatic that he became unconscious, and he fell down. And when he fell down, Mother Sachi ran forward and took the dust from his feet. So this shows us how careful we have to be to avoid offenses. And this way Lord Chaitanya was teaching all the devotees the importance of never blaspheming or committing any offense against another Vaishnava. Yes, Prabhu. You mean you're giving an order, you're asking people to do services, you're giving instruction to people or something? Yes, strict with ourselves. Strict with ourselves. Not that you have to be strict with others. We have to be strict with ourselves. Huh? Yes. You understand the question?
Maharaj is saying that just like if you have to serve prasadam, and sometimes certain items are limited, you have to restrict devotees. Devotees may insist, so that time you need to be strict. So then how to deal with such situation?
So, you want to speak in Hindi?
तो प्रभु जी का प्रश्न ये है कि कुछ सेवाओं में हमें भक्तों के साथ सख्ती बरतनी पड़ती है, तो क्या वो वैष्णव अपराध नहीं होगा? तो महाराज ने पहले कहा नहीं, सख्ती बरतनी है लेकिन अपने साथ, दूसरों के साथ नहीं। तो उन्होंने पूछा कि जैसे हम प्रसाद सेवा करते हैं और जब हम कुछ प्रसाद की कुछ ऐसे आइटम होती हैं जो कि सीमित होती हैं, ज़्यादा नहीं दे सकते, लेकिन हम लोग जो है वो जितना बताया जाए उससे ज़्यादा मांगते हैं, तो उनके साथ सख्ती से बोलना पड़ता है, उनको रोकना पड़ता है। तो ऐसी स्थिति में हम कैसे व्यवहार किया जाए?
Well, we have to learn the art of speaking the truth and making it pleasing. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, right? That's the saying in Sanskrit. That we should, we have to explain everything in a way, and at the same time you have to do it politely and lovingly, caringly. We don't have to try to give instruction to others. Unless we are their authority, we don't have the right to be trying to instruct them.
तो जब तक हमारी ऐसी प्रबंधन सेवा ना हो, तो हमें दूसरों को जो है वैसे उपदेश जैसे जो है वो सलाह नहीं देनी चाहिए।
If we try to instruct others, they simply become angry. Because they think, who are you to tell me what to do? You're not my authority. So we have to rely on the presence of senior authorities to keep everything in line, to keep the situation under control. If there's some difficulties, then some senior Vaishnavas should be there to give the final judgment about the situation. But yes, you're right in that working with devotees, there has to be some control, some regulation. So And you're saying you have to be strict. That doesn't mean you have to be harsh.
तो आप सही कह रहे हैं कि हमें उसको सेवा में जो है वो कुछ सीमा रखनी पड़ती है, कुछ शासन का पालन करना पड़ता है, जिसके हमें शक्ति बढ़ती पड़ती है। लेकिन शक्ति बढ़ने का मतलब जो है वो कठोर होना नहीं है।
We have to be careful how we use the tongue, how we speak to other devotees. The words should be pleasing.
तो हमें ध्यान रखना है कि हम जीवा का इस्तेमाल कैसे करते हैं और किस तरीके से हम उनसे बातचीत करते हैं, बोलते हैं, सत्य बोलते हैं।
Of course, I could understand sometimes situations are difficult. You have many young men here, and they have a lot of passion, and sometimes they may be very eager to get some very sumptuous Mahaprasadam, and there's not enough for everyone. So, anyway, we have to learn, we all have to learn tolerance. Living together and taking meals together is very nice, but it can also be very challenging sometimes. So it's a learning experience. We're all learning, we're becoming purified, we're getting more and more experience of these situations, and it helps us to understand how much we're controlled by our senses and how much more we need to purify ourselves. So we have to be humble, we have to take the straw between our teeth, and we have to just simply ask other devotees for their cooperation and try to appeal to them to also be tolerant. We want to create a nice Vaishnava atmosphere, and in the time of prasadam, it may be a difficult thing. I remember one time in one center, it was in New York long ago, there was one devotee who was really harsh, and he would open the doors to the prasad. I'd say, "All right, you dogs," you know. You know, his mood in serving the devotees. Well, he saw the devotees just like dogs, all coming, fighting over the prasadam. So you don't want to be like that. Okay, so it's a challenge. You have to be tolerant. Yes, Prabhu. What does it mean to be offensive? What's the second question?
It says that Maharaj, in Kali Yuga, we also heard that mental offenses are not counted. then how do we understand for our practical application?
Okay, so the first question about the... Okay.
So Prabhuji का प्रश्न ये था कि हम कैसे समझें कि वैष्णव अपराध है क्या? कि कब हमें वैष्णव अपराध लगता है? और दूसरा हम कलयुग में सुनते हैं कि खासकर मानसिक अपराध जो है वो कलयुग में नहीं लगता है। लेकिन हम इस लीला में देखते हैं कि सच्ची माता ने मानसिक रूप में उनको अपराध किया था, तभी उनको अपराध लगा। तो हम अपने व्यवहारिक भक्ति में जीवन में इस सिद्धांत को कैसे समझें?
If you criticize someone on the basis of their birth, that is offensive. You say, oh, this person, they're so low class, they're so low born, you know, like that. You criticize on the basis of their birth, or you criticize them on the basis of some past sin. That maybe before becoming devotee, they had some bad behavior or bad habits. And so if you criticize them on that basis, then this is offensive.
जाति को देखकर कि जो है नीची जाति से हैं, जो है अच्छे कुल से नहीं हैं, या फिर अपनी वैष्णव की निंदा करते हैं क्योंकि उन्होंने अपने भक्ति में आने से पहले जो पाप किए थे उसको देखकर उनकी निंदा करते हैं, ये वैष्णव अपराध।
And the second question about in Kali Yuga, if we think bad, we don't get any reaction. But the danger is, you think bad about someone, it will become there will be some action due to it. It will influence your behavior. And so, although there's no reaction for thinking about it, thinking is the beginning of action. After you think about it, then you start to behave in that way, and you do some activity against someone, and that brings reaction. It doesn't just stop with only the thought. The thought comes in the mind, and then from thinking comes to action. And you start to do things, you start to behave in a particular way towards them, according to what you were thinking. If you're thinking something bad about someone, then you start to actually deal badly with them, because you were thinking bad about them. So we have to be very careful not to keep these kind of thoughts in the mind, because they will become manifest in action, and that will bring reaction.
अगर हमारे मन में कुछ ऐसा दुर्विचार होगा तो किसी न किसी रूप से जो है वो हमारे कार्यों में भी दिखाई देगा, और जब कार्यों में दिखाई देगा तो निश्चित रूप से उसका परिणाम हमें भोगना पड़ेगा। हमें बहुत सतर्क रहना है कि हम ऐसे विचारों को अपने मन में ना रखें और इससे निवारण प्राप्त करें।
Okay. Any other question? Yes, Brahma? People?
He's saying that Maharaja, that the temple, mostly young devotees are managing. So when older devotees come, who are much more older, 15, 20 years in the movement, so they want some special privileges. This is disturbing in the management. And when we stop them, so they feel offended and they may shoot back also. How to deal with such situations?
Well, we have to recognize the needs of all the different types of devotees. Yeah, certainly older people may need some special arrangement. Just like we have chairs in the temple, you know, we can't expect everybody to be able to sit on the floor. And so older people, we arrange some chairs. Some people have leg problems and so on. We have chairs for them. And similarly, taking prasadam, not everybody's able to sit down on the floor and take prasadam. So we have sometimes, we arrange tables. So yeah, this is a problem of management. Managers have to be able to accommodate all these different kinds of people. They have to make arrangements for everyone. And they have to understand the needs of other people. That's what management's all about.
तो मुझे प्रश्न ये था कि हम देखते हैं कि जैसे मंदिर में जितने प्रबंधन कार्य है वो उन के द्वारा दिया जा रहा है जो कि उम्र में छोटे हैं, और जब भक्त जो कि 15-20 साल वो भक्ति में पहले से जुड़े हुए हैं, तो उनके कुछ विशेष जरूरतें वो प्रस्तुत करते हैं, लेकिन वो प्रबंधन के द्वारा उसकी व्यवस्था करना मुश्किल हो जाता है। और अगर वो भक्त उनको कुछ बोलते हैं तो नाराज हो जाते हैं, या फिर जो है कुछ लड़े होने का डर होता है। तो ऐसी स्थिति को कैसे डील किया जाए? तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि हाँ, अगर ऐसा है तो आप देख सकते हैं कि जो वरिष्ठ भक्त हैं, पुराने भक्त हैं, वृद्ध भक्त हैं, उनकी क्या विशेष जरूरतें हैं। जैसे मंदिर में हम कुर्सियाँ रखते हैं कि हर कोई नीचे नहीं बैठ सकता, तो वरिष्ठ भक्तों के लिए व्यवस्था की गई है। तो प्रबंधन का उद्देश्य यही है कि हर भक्तों की जो मूल जरूरतें हैं उसकी पूर्ति की जाए, यही उसका अर्थ है।
Devotee care. That's also, you could say this is devotee care. We have to take care of all the devotees, not just the young devotees. We have so many different classes of devotees, and we have to be thinking about how to help them and how to encourage them.
ये वैष्णव सेवा है, ये ना सिर्फ जो नए भक्त हैं उनकी भी सेवा करना है, जो वृद्ध भक्त हैं उनकी भी सेवा करना है। वैष्णव सेवा का ही भाग।
So that's a big subject, devotee care. Management is also not easy. Very difficult job.
प्रबंधन करना भी आसान बात नहीं है, बड़ा कठिन काम है।
We're always looking for new managers. The old ones get so tired of all the complaints. It's so difficult to keep people happy.
प्रबंधन कार्य जो है वो आसान नहीं है, क्यों? क्योंकि हर भक्त को खुश करना आसान बात नहीं है, इसलिए पुराने भक्त बड़ी जल्दी प्रबंधन कार्य को छोड़ देते हैं, क्योंकि उनको इतने सारे जो है कंप्लेंट्स।
So communication is very important. There has to be communication. There has to be an opportunity for people to voice their needs and their concerns to the management.
और कम्युनिकेशन जरूरी है, ऐसी व्यवस्था जरूरी है जहाँ किसी को भी परेशानी है तो स्पष्ट तरीके से हमें विचार कर सकते हैं।
And the management has to communicate back with the devotees, with the congregation. They have to explain their limitations and their problems in trying to meet all their demands.
और जो प्रबंधन है उनको भी जो अपना अपनी परेशानी का साफ स्पष्ट तरीकों से उनको रखना चाहिए, उनको बताना चाहिए किस कारणवश इस व्यवस्था को नहीं कर सकते।
If the older devotees are feeling something is needing to be done, and the younger devotees who are managing are not doing it, then they should explain why they're not doing it. There must be some reason why. And they should appeal to the older people to help them or to understand the problem. Okay. So communication is very important. Okay, we'll stop here. It's very late. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
एक छोटी सी सूचना है